So far in Unit 2, Part 1, we've discussed melody, rhythm, meter, and tempo. Now we're going to discuss harmony. Both melody and harmony are made up of intervals derived from the scale. Here's the C major scale, and here are some examples of melodic intervals. C major scale, you'll notice you have a whole step, and another whole step, a half step, note there's no black key here, a whole step, another whole step, and then a half step. And of course that whole step, half step relationship within the C major scale is what makes it a major scale. The relationship between whole steps and half steps would change if I were to change that to the C minor scale or what have you. Anyway, that's the scale we're going to derive these intervals from. Here are some examples of melodic intervals. Let's take the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. The first interval is called a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth. Okay. Then I go up a whole step to the next interval. Then I work my way down the scale. And there's my song. So I go up a fifth, and then everything else is scalar. Leap. Now when we're talking about melody, all of these intervals are melodic intervals. That is, they don't occur, the two notes don't occur at the same time. When we're talking about harmony, we're talking about harmonic intervals. The same interval of a fifth can be played at the same time. I'll do that down here. Okay. That sound is the sound of a harmonic interval. Now I can put another note in here and make up a C major chord, which is made of the first, third, and fifth of the C major scale, and I have this. Nice sound. Okay. So if I put my melodic intervals in my melody with the harmonic intervals underneath, I can have melody and harmony at the same time. So I can have so if I put those together, now whereas we've already talked about melody, and we understand that melody tends to be the focus of a piece of music. It's the thing that we can hum or sing after hearing the piece of music. The stuff that backs up and reinforces that melody we refer to as harmony, or chords in this case. I'm going to play with my left hand the harmony part, a very simplified harmony part to the tune Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Notice how boring the harmony is by itself. Here it is, using just chords made from the C major scale. The first chord is a C chord, the second chord is an F chord, and then we go back to a C chord, to a G chord, back eventually to a C. So here we go. Here's the harmony. Not particularly interesting, whereas the melody holds our interest because it's got some leaps and some steps, and it makes, well, it makes melodic sense. Now when I put the two together, though, both parts complement each other. So we have Now, I've just finished playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in the key of C. Well, what is it that we mean by key? Well, this note, C, is the key note of the key of C. It's the starting pitch of the C major scale. Now you'll remember we talked about the C major scale having certain whole steps and half steps. Here's a half step, and here's a half step. Notice no black key. But the rest of the notes in the C major scale all have a black key between them, which makes them a whole step. Now, if I want to change key, all I do is simply change my key note. I'm going to use D this time. But I have to do something else. I have to reshift all of the whole steps and half steps in the key so that I can continue to make this a major scale. If I just use the white keys, it doesn't work, because using just the white keys, my whole steps and half steps don't array themselves in such a way so that they sound like a major scale. To play in the key of D, I have to switch over to play the melody Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I have to use F sharp instead of F natural. You'll notice if I play a D major scale, first through the fifth, I've got a whole step, half step, whole step. Okay? And so I've shifted by using a different key. I've maintained the whole step, half step relationship here. So here's the song. You'll notice I'll be using this key this time instead of this key, and I'll be starting on this note. Which means that my key note, D in this case, is the beginning note of the D major scale. Now, there are major and minor scales, and they have different whole step, half step relationships. But for right now, let's focus on the major scale. And if you understand that the key note D is the note name of the key of D, okay, and you know that that is the starting point of the D major scale, you'll know that when I play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star this time, I'll be playing it in the key of D, as opposed to the key of C, where I started a little bit ago. So here it is in the key of D once again. Okay. Moving back to the key of C, I just drop back down and use all white keys, thus rearranging the half step, whole step relationship to make a major scale, and we have